with another one with the Yeezy foam runners, but now we got a different colorway. They have the MX pair right here, baby. Woo! Check them out. As the MX sand gray colorway in these Yeezy foam runners is so lit. I actually didn't really like them in person, but I took a risk and bought them anyway. I know, crazy. And of course I got them from goat.com. Guys, I got them goat verified and everything, and they look fantastic, guys. I really like the contrast, and personally these are my favorite pair, actually. Now, they didn't look as cool in the pictures and all that, but now that I'm looking at them in person, I'm like, holy smokes, these are gonna be so fresh in the summer. So I'm super excited that I got these pair, and I did get them in size 8. I'll go over sizing a little bit later in the video. You can always check out this video above, or this side, I don't know what side it is, but you guys can check the linked video in the description or up in the card section for sizing guides on that, because I did do a review on my bad boys over there, the Orchids Yeezy foam runners, so check that out. But I'm gonna do some B-roll. Let's get into it. The Yeezy foam runners, the MX ones, are Chinese made, which is the major difference other than the colorway. Now, I think that they're Chinese made because of the way that these are dyed. The cool thing about it is that it's definitely randomized on every single pair. So the left pair right here is definitely different pattern than the right shoe, which is really cool. I love how it's random because it's unique to every single pair. But it being a Chinese pair, you can tell the materials are a little bit different. So compared to my Orchid ones that are USA made, these are Chinese made, and there's no real problem with that other than the fact that they're not as soft and pliable compared to the Orchid colorway. So definitely take that in consideration, because these are definitely feel different in hand compared to the Orchids. I'm not sure why, but these are definitely stiffer and not as soft and stretchy compared to them. But it's not like that big of a difference, because personally, they still feel great on feet and they're just as comfortable, but on hand they definitely feel a little different. Even though the MX pair is Chinese made, I still say that they fit exactly the same way. Just, you know, obviously they feel a little bit different in hand, but on feet I can't tell a difference, which is good. I'm super happy to hear that and report that back to you guys. So don't be worried that yours is made out of Chinese pair or the US pair. It really doesn't make a difference unless you're feeling it on hand. I mean, you may feel it a little bit on feet because of the stretchiness, but other than that, really no big deal. I would still go the same exact size that you did originally go. If you own a pair of Yeezy foam runners, go with the same exact size with these bad boys, because it really doesn't matter whether it's made in China or in the US. Now, I gotta say, I love the bottoms of these. It's super cool that the pattern does go to the sole and the bottom of these shoes. Super cool. If you guys can take a look inside there, you can see that the pattern is really randomized, like I mentioned earlier, which makes these super unique to every single person that does own them. I really do like the way that the bottoms are made, though. You can tell it's made with that sole that's really wovy and really good texture when you're walking around. I use these all the time outside the house, or you know, even like running sometimes, because I'm running an errand, I'm moving quick, you still get really good traction. Now, the only reason I kept the tag on was for the videos, because I forgot that I need to get some good B-roll with everything. And I feel like I need to make everything official. But you can tell within the shoe, it is really rubbery in there, so it gives you really good traction. So I don't get any heel slip or even blisters in these, and they definitely do actually break in really nice and stretch. So take that in consideration. But I did go with a size 8. I am a size 7.5 in all my other Yeezys, but I did go with size 8, and I'll break the sizing in a little second here. But I just want to cover the overall Yeezy Runner again. Just saying that I love how narrow it is. It is tricky to put your foot in initially, but then you do get used to putting it in, and also it starts molding to your foot, so you'll be able to put them in a lot easier with time. So don't be worried about the narrowness. Now, the hump in person, I would say, is super, super in your face. You get used to it, but when you get your right size, that is really not that apparent compared to the pictures that everybody takes. And personally, for me, it does not bother me. I don't get a crazy hump or anything. It actually looks really molded to my foot when I wear outfits and stuff, just because I got the correct size, which is like super key. Now, I will say that I haven't got any blisters, thank God. I know a lot of people have when they haven't gotten the correct size, but luckily for me, no blisters whatsoever. Everything looks great and it feels super good. Now, I will say that I love the insole just because you really do get like a bouncy feeling within the shoe, and I love that, and it just makes it feel like I'm wearing like Ultra Boost, and at the same time they're just Yeezy foam runners, and these little bumps and ridges that they have in there like massage my feet. I don't know why. Is it just me? But let me know down below if you own a pair of Yeezy foam runners. Does the bumps like bother you, or do you like them? Because I personally love the way they feel on my foot, because they just feel like really massagey to me. Now, I have been running a lot, like I've been mentioning in a lot of my videos, so my feet are like really sensitive, and I'll report to you guys that these still feel really, really good inside. Like, I do not have any complaints whatsoever when I wear them. My feet don't hurt. They feel super good. I feel like really comfortable flip-flops or slippers. Like, that's the best way to put it. Now, take in consideration that on the back here, your foot doesn't actually go all the way back against the heel here. It kind of just stops around here, personally. So this is where kind of like your heel stops. And that's why it's really going to be important that you get the correct size, because if not, obviously your foot is going to be sliding out of these. But like I mentioned, luckily I have the perfect tips for you guys to get the correct size, so let's go over it. When it comes to the Yeezy foam runners, sizing is extremely important because these guys do not come in half sizes. As me, like I mentioned, I am 7.5, and I wear 7.5s for every single shoe. Nike, Adidas, Puma, soccer cleats, doesn't matter, I'm wearing 7.5. So it made it really tricky for me, and I did do a lot of research to let you guys know what size you should be getting. Now, when it comes to the Yeezy foam runners, like I mentioned, no half sizes, so let's talk about it. When it comes to 7.5s, I would say if you're in a half size, then it comes down to a couple of things, and that is going to be, one, do you have a narrow foot or wide foot? If you have a wide foot, then you definitely should size up, guys. If you have a wide foot and you're half size up because you need the extra room. These size 8s fit perfectly on me, and that's only because I have a little bit of a wide foot compared to like a lot of people. I would say like it's not like super wide, but I do need like a little bit of room in there, and they definitely feel like perfect. I'm telling you, they feel really good, no slipping, and they're just the way I like them, like tight still. But if I went down to a 7, I would be crushed. Like my toes would be flipping hurting. Now, if you're a 7.5 and you're like a true 7.5, and you still have like a little bit of wiggle room on the sides, and you even have like wiggle room up in the toe area. So let's just say like this was a shoe, for instance, and you were like, your toes are always here, so you still have definitely a lot of space in the toe box area, but you use like a roomier fit and you're 7.5s, then in that case, I would say size down, because then that way you have a lot of space still. And the 7.5, I promise you, if you just size down, if you have a little bit of wiggle room, then definitely size down, because that'll give it like a nice feeling, still super comfortable. Now, if you're 7.5 and you are half size and you have like a molded fit in that 7.5, so let's just say you're a 7.5 and your toes are right here anyway in every single shoe, but use like a really solid feeling shoe that is like completely molded and feels like a sock to you, literally, then get a size 8, because you in a size 7 it's gonna feel so tight. Like, I am telling you, you're gonna feel really, really tight in that. So just make sure to size up. If you already have like a molded fit in a 7.5, and I'm telling you, it feels like really like a sock, like a glove, then size up, because a 7 is just going to be way too tight. So just to reiterate, if you're a 7.5 and you are a true 7.5, and you have a little bit of wiggle, your toes like around this area right here, you still have wiggle room above and still wiggle room on the side, then definitely size down. If you have a wide feet, or you're 7.5 that's very molded, so for every shoe you go 7.5 because you really like a really tight molded fit, then size up, because I'm telling you, like, man, it's gonna be tight, guys. Like, 7 is just gonna be tight. Now, if you're a solid size, so you're an 8, 9, 10, 11, now I definitely recommend just going true to size for sure on these. So if you're like stuck in like a solid range, like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like I was mentioning, then go true to size with that. Sizing is a little tricky on these, and I promise you, just listen to your gut on it, because I listen to my gut. I wore a 7.5, and when I wear 7.5s, it's like a glove. So I knew like going down a size probably wouldn't be it for me, because it'd just be so tight. And it's true, like, I'm telling you, it would be extremely tight. So I went with an 8 because I knew my 7.5 is always like a glove fit, and in an 8 it feels just as good. I definitely have a little bit of room, but it just feels like perfect. And then I do want to just go over that, because of sizing and everything, I did run into a subreddit, and I'll throw it down in the description for you guys. But in that subreddit, the cool thing is that people were experimenting with throwing these in the dryer. Now, I wouldn't recommend that, obviously, but if you need to, you should do it if you want to take that risk. But I would do it personally. If these weren't going to be fitting, I was going to throw them in the dryer and try this out, because they are made out of an algae one-piece material. It does make it really easy to mold them and modify them in the dryer. So just like Crocs, you can throw them in the dryer and then follow these couple of steps. You'll read it in the subreddit as well, but I'll break down what that says in the subreddit. So this guy pretty much put a wet rag in there with towels to protect the material, and then he wanted to size them down. So what he did is he threw them in the dryer to 6 to 10 minutes, took them out, let them cool off, check the fit after, and if they're still too big, then we do that whole entire process. So throw them back in for an additional 6 minutes to 10 minutes, take them out, let them cool off, and then from there he would go ahead and try them on. And he said that it ended up shrinking to a perfect fit. Now, he did mention that if you wanted to make them larger, then go ahead and throw them in the dryer for 6 to 10 minutes, and as soon as they're hot, baking, then throw 2 socks on, and then throw them on for a little bit, get them molded more so that they stretch out, and then just continue that process. So throw them back into the dryer 6 to 10 minutes, throw double socks on, and then see how they fit after. And a lot of people you'll see in the subreddit have tried both of those options, and luckily everything turned out good for them, and they even molded and fit better than they initially wanted to. So they were really shocked, happy with everything, and I was definitely an option if this didn't fit for me. I know the Yeezy foam runners aren't for everybody, but I personally love them. I'm super happy that I got them, and I'm definitely going to be rocking them. So check out the couple of clips I have after this, because I'm going to be rocking them and showing a couple of outfits. Let me know what you think. If you guys like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the videos. I appreciate the support, guys. If you have any questions for me, throw it down below. I know size is super confusing, but I'll be more than happy to answer all your questions down below as best as I can. Make sure to check out the charts in the description that break down the sizing, like I mentioned, because solid sizes should definitely stay solid. Unless you have a really wide foot, then you know yourself and you know you have to size up. But you'll see in the measurements that a solid size is always the same in a Yeezy foam runner as well as the V2s. So take that in consideration, as well as what I told you about half sizes like me. So once again, if you're a half size and you are like a true 7.5, like you still have wiggle room and size down. But if you're a 7.5 because you like really tapered, like snug fit, then size up to an 8 because you'll still get that snug fit and perfect fit. Let me know if you have any questions. You know where to find me in the comment sections. I'll be more than happy to do it. I love you guys. I'm going to throw some clips on for you now.